Well, it's James Kalm again on the bike. Welcome you all back for another half-ass production, and we're out on a chilly Thursday night here in Chelsea. We're going to drop in here at P.P.O.W. to take a look at Martin Wong. Everything Must Go. This piece is titled El Caribe, and it's acrylic, 40 by 45 and a half inches. And I was actually a friend of Martin's back in his East Village days, and he was one of the stars of that scene for a long time. This is Ursa Minor. Got a whole bunch of his constellation paintings here. One of the things that Martin was known for is his brickwork. So Martin used a lot of various things that he repeated again here. The constellations. He had his sign language hands and the bricks. And this piece is titled I See You. Martin happened to live down on a pretty raunchy street named Ridge Street, down on the Lower East Side. And the wonderful thing is, a lot of these scenes and a lot of the people were directly out of the neighborhood, scenes that he would see from his window. Son of Sam Sleeps. Martin was a very unusual character. This must be one of his later pieces. He went into the Chinatown phase after he left New York. This is Top Cat from 1998. This is titled FDNY. And this is Voices. Now, one of the great things is that these paintings really do have a texture, a facture that's kind of grimy and decrepit, and really recall a lot of the buildings on the Lower East Side. This is titled Stanton near Forsyth Street from 1983. This is really a beautiful example of a major painting by Martin Wong. Now, I used to bump into him around the art scene quite a bit, and one of the things that he was very famous for was his passion for collecting graffiti art. Oh, that might be a self-portrait. And I think Martin was one of the people that really did a lot to establish graffiti as a fine art. And I think he donated his collection to the City Museum of New York. This piece is titled Brick on Brick. This is the Sacred Shroud of P.P.O.W. This is titled Rivington at Attorney Street. Well, Martin passed away of AIDS in 1999. And he'd been sick for a long time and actually left New York in the late 80s and went back to San Francisco, and his mother nursed him back to health. This is Pharaoh Cactus Peninsula v. Viscaneus. This is from 1997-98, so this is some of the very last of the work that he did. Well, I always liked Martin, had a great time talking to him, and we get into some very interesting discussions about the phylogeny of various graffiti styles and things. Up there's Martin. Some of his sketches and ephemera. Anyway, this was a guy that had a lot of challenges. He was Asian. He was gay. He was crazy. But he was a great artist. Now we'll look at some of Martin's photo collages. Well, I never knew that he did photos like this, but this is what a lot of the Lower East Side looked like back in the 80s. It was a real war zone. As a matter of fact, they called it Little Beirut. These photo collages are from Martin's papers at the Fels Library Collection at NYU. Couple of beautiful pieces. This is Courtroom Shocker. Jimmy the Weasel sings like a canary. And Psychics Unlock Beauty Secrets of the Stars. Here we are. We've got Carlo McCormick and Tom Warren, a couple of East Village geezers. Okay, the sign language.
No, I think Martin was always looking for signs. I think he was like, there's a bad. It's one of the defects of the human mind, and it probably came from us being a small, relatively worthless animal. Is that we always used to have to listen for patterns, like the rustling in the grass of the wind, right? We always had to like listen to it and think it was a predator, because if we didn't run, we'd be killed. Yeah. So because of that, we're always looking for patterns and signs in different places, and Martin was king of that. So that's why he loved constellations. That's why
he also said that somebody handed him a card with the signs on it when he first got to New York, and he just sort of took it home, and
Martin was literal.
It became part of his language.
There's Martin's story, and then there's why he was attracted to it. And I just think he was one of those people. He's like the kind of guy who did look for Elvis's face in the mold of the bread. Is that good?
That was beautiful. And how about you, Tom? What did you think of his photographs? I saw the photo collages, I never saw those before.
I never saw them before either, and I loved them. I love the collage. I've done a lot of collages of brick buildings like that myself, and the sequence is really my first endeavor into art making, and so I love them.
They were great.
I really relate to them.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Tom Warren and Carlo McCormick, a couple of East Village geezers here.
That's it.
Thanks, gentlemen. This is James Kalm reporting from P.P.O.W. at 511 West 26th Street here in Chelsea on Martin Wong. Everything Must Go. Thanks, Kate.